and we have that for you now.
I pledge my allegiance to Barack, President of the United States of America, and to the republic, which I can't stand, one nation, under Obama, with socialized medicine, higher taxes, and less freedom for all.
All right.
Give me an O.
People don't walk away unhappy, dissatisfied. And you know that old Bill's out there working the phones. I warned you people. I warned you. I tried to tell you, but he threw the race car down on me, and I got distracted everybody, and I had to run around and defend myself as a race. I'm the first black president of this country, and I had to run around and tell everybody I'm not a racist. Well, I warned you. I said this is not going to work. This guy can't win. He can't get enough votes. He got enough support. Got no experience at all. Look, he got all that media coverage over there when he went over that summer intern tour. That Limbaugh calls it. He's exactly right about that. And what happened? His numbers fell. He keep falling. I try to warn you. Don't ever think that anything that happens with the Clintons is anything but coincidences. Nothing is coincidence with the Clintons, and never ever trust them. And from the AmericanThinker.com today, a story: could Obama still lose the nomination? Will Hillary outsmart Obama and take the nomination at the last minute? Many of us familiar with Hillary Clinton's approach to achieving her goals refuse to believe that she ever gave up all hope of winning the nomination and the presidency. Her words and actions on the subject of the convention itself always left the door open for a return should Obama falter or suffer some calamity. Her artful evasions were enough to lull journalists, and more importantly, the Messiah and his disciples, into the presumption of inevitability. No further rumblings of a mass protest in Denver, should the first black candidate be denied his rightful due, were heard. After all, he received enough publicly expressed support from the superdelegates to put him over the top. Everybody presumed the presumptive nominee was a lock, but now there are a few signs that Hillary may be making her move. A blogger, Patarico, alludes to the Hillary campaign burning up the phone lines to the superdelegates. That's right, just as I just told you. And who's burning those phone lines but old Bill? Then Bill Clinton told ABC News, I'm not a racist. Contended the race card was played against him. Hillary's Puma, which is short for Party Unity My Derriere, supporters in Denver and nationally plan a rally at a Denver park during the convention. And ABC News reported yesterday that Hillary does not rule out putting her name in nomination, contradicting earlier press reports. Now, if the party goes along with Obama's request, then it will reduce the number of superdelegates who would need to sit out. Well, after he accepted the decision last June to seat the delegates from Michigan and Florida, but with half votes, only days ago Obama said he wanted the delegates to have full votes. Now, obviously, he said this believing he's won the nomination and that pandering to voters in critical general election states is of more importance. So he wanted to give all these people in those states full votes. If they go along with his plan, then it reduces the number of superdelegates who would need to sit out the first ballot for Obama to be denied the nomination, which would open the way for Clinton. Now, this is proof that the man should not be negotiating with Ahmadinejad. If he can't think strategically and recognize his vulnerability to a last-minute ambush at the convention, he'd be eaten alive in a big-league world affairs. I don't think he doesn't think. He's not a strategist. He's a learner. He absorbs knowledge, but he's able to repeat it. But this is like all elitists and like all people with profound egos. He thinks that simply the force of his personality is all he needs to accomplish anything, be it with Ahmadinejad or keeping Hillary at bay or what have you. Now, David Axelrod is the campaign architect and guru behind the Messiah, and he was on Scarborough's show today on DNC TV. And Scarborough said Hillary Clinton thinks her name should be on the ballot in Denver. What do you think?
We're working closely with them. You know, we put out a joint statement last night. We're going to work this out. I know that you guys love conflict and you love intrigue and all that stuff. Senator Clinton talks to Senator Obama regularly. She's campaigning for us tomorrow in Nevada. So we're going to work this out.
Work what out? And according to who are you going to work this out? I mean, you're going to work out all of a sudden she wants her name placed in nomination? Well, how are you going to work that out? Either going to let her do it or not let her do it. What is there to work out? You guys have the Messiah. He's already president. Don't you? I can't believe Axelrod's forgotten this. He's been treated as president when he went over to see Sarkozy. He was treated as president when he was in Germany, not by Merkel. She didn't do that. He's been treated as president everywhere. He took the American flag off his campaign plane. The chair that he sits in on his campaign plane says president on it. He's got the campaign logo, Obama.com for president. He already thinks he is the president. And yet they got to work something out here with Mrs. Clinton, who the last we knew was vanquished. So Scarborough then said, well, when Bill Clinton can't even say whether your candidate's qualified to be president of the United States, I don't think that that's looking for conflict. I think that's an in-your-face.
Did you see the interview?
I sure did.
Mika, the fact is that there was I think that there was a picking at the scab there, and I thought he was pretty restrained in response.
There was picking a scab. It was Kate Snow that did the interview for ABC, and it was picking a scab? What's the scab? All she did was ask Clinton if Obama's qualified. Here is what Clinton said to that, by the way.
You could argue that no one's ever ready to be president. I mean, I certainly learned a lot about the job in the first year. You could argue that even if you've been vice president for 8 years, that no one can ever be fully ready for the pressures of the office, and that everyone learns something and something different. You could argue that.
You think he's completely qualified to be president?
The Constitution sets qualifications for the president. And then the people decide who they think would be the better president. I think we have two choices. I think he should win, and I think he will win.
And now, folks, I don't care what that last comment was. This is not an endorsement. He will not say whether or not Obama is qualified, because they haven't given this up. Mark my words. And what fun would that be?